Yeah, so the company that I started or co-founded is a company called Stash. What we do is we provide financial advice, education, and services for digitally through your phone. And so we offer investing, retirement, account for your kids, insurance, and banking all through an app. And we service basically middle America who have been traditionally turned away from getting this kind of access because they just don't have the money. Yeah, so obviously it's changing every day. We now have got north of about 350, 360 employees. So it's changed a lot since since the first, we're only 6 years old. So right now, my day-to-day is very much helping facilitate the great team that we have to achieve our mission. And our mission is really to make finance a source of hope, not fear. And, when you think about some of the statistics that are out there, 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and 40% of America can't come up with $400 in an emergency. Our mission is to try to help solve that problem and help get people financially educated and give them the tools, the guidance, the advice to help them build a better financial future and also not feel like they're in fear, like the next bill is going to put them into debt. So I started my career obviously in Sydney. I started at Macquarie Bank in private banking for high net worths. I was very quickly sent overseas, where I worked in London for a number of years. Then I was moved to New York, where I had the opportunity to work in New York, which was great. What really led this idea, myself and my co-founder, Brandon, we kind of sat back and we saw all this technology starting to come through. And we saw the Robin Hoods, we saw the Chimes, we saw the Acorns and Betterments and technology really enabling access. And what we realized was that we actually need to solve the biggest problem out there. And that is, as I go back to 80% of America lives paycheck to paycheck. They can't even afford to buy one share of Apple, one share of Amazon. And so we said, how do we provide education? How do we provide advice? But most importantly, how do we provide access so people could start putting little bits of money away for their future? And so that's kind of where we started the idea. That was back in 2015. We didn't realize that how big we would get so quickly. We're serving nearly 6 million Americans right now. We're adding north of 20,000 new customers every day. And they're really coming to our platform to get help, get guidance, because it's just not taught in schools anymore. And so that's kind of our mission, and that's kind of where we started, and that's where we continue to be very focused on. All our customers are in America. We've got a team in America, and we've also got a team in the UK as well. In today's day and age, and COVID is just a perfect example of that, we're a people-first culture. And so for us, we want to find the best people no matter where you are in the world. And so for me, I wanted to, for family reasons and also personal reasons, I wanted to move back to the UK. We wanted to build a team out here, find really great talent here, because I think it creates a great opportunity for the spread of culture, the spread of diversity, the spread of ideas. And then as we think about continuing to expand, it creates an incredible launchpad for us to tackle other regions and markets. On top of that, we're a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week platform, so we want to make sure that we've got 24-hour coverage. And that's how we think about it. And so the move over here made a lot of sense. This stint, I actually arrived back here in December 2019. So a few months before lockdown. Previously, I was in the center of Manhattan. And so it was kind of fortuitous that we were here, got a bit more space. And I'm loving every moment. I'm obviously missing the team. I haven't been able to get back to America since basically March 2020. But everyone's really excited to start opening up the borders so we can start traveling a lot more. Well, I think it's one of those things where one of the best experiences, one of the best things I can recommend to anyone is to get to travel. Get overseas, put yourself in different environments, challenge yourself, try new things, because that's where you really push yourself. That's where you start learning and you can start adapting and really find out what type of personality you have. I think COVID's actually created an incredible opportunity because literally just before this call, I was on the phone with an Australian CEO, helping them think through some of their investor decks and some of their materials, because everyone's so used to now be in front of a screen. You can actually get access to anyone in the world effectively. And so don't just stay limited to the 6 people that you're close to or the people that you think are in your country. Reach out, speak to people that are in the UK, speak to people that are in America. It's just literally a Zoom link, a Hangout link, and you can be in front of someone getting a totally different perspective and thinking about things differently. So I think that's created an incredible opportunity for the ideas and innovation to occur because things are moving so much quicker. Yeah, for me personally, I want to continue to push on entrepreneurship for Australians, one, and two, getting more Australians overseas to really experience different cultures, really experience different work environments, and to see just how things operate outside of Australia. And so for me, if that is helping with recruitment, if that is helping with people, finding positions overseas, trying new things, traveling, I'd love to be part of that because I think, like I said, I go back to travel. I go back to putting yourself in situations where you can continue to learn something new and different is a great way just to continue to grow yourself personally and professionally. Oh, really? Okay, great. Oh, thank you. That's very nice. Oh, lovely. Yeah, well, I mean, this is something I've been a big supporter of the Advance group. I'm a big believer personally that Australians should really get out and travel and try new things and put yourself in different situations because, again, I think it's the best way to continue to push through in your career and to try and just to challenge yourself. When I think about employees that we look for people that want to put themselves in situations where they continue challenging themselves and finding new things because it just becomes so much more diverse. And I feel very honored, to be honest with you.